Alright mates, how's it going? In today's video, Chapter 4 of Rise of the Horde by Christy Golden. Time for Durotan to become bloody Duroman. Let's go! A couple of months later, and Durotan's birthday and subsequent initiation into adulthood had finally arrived, and his heart was currently hammering in his chest as he stared at the beast that was to become his prey, a Talbuck. Although you may be thinking, well, that's not exactly a vicious beast, is it? It's just a bloody antelope, and it's asleep. But Talbucks are not to be underestimated, and he was to take it down with only a single weapon and no armour, for that was the rule of the Omragor, for reasons. There had of course been some whisperings from some of the others, things like any mature Talbuck would do to satisfy the needs of the ritual, though you could kill a male, because they shed their horns in the autumn. One person had suggested maybe hiding some armour in the wilderness. No one would know. And the most shameful whisper of all, the shaman will determine your success by tasting the blood on your face. And blood from a long dead Talbuck tastes exactly the same as blood from a freshly slain one, if you know what I'm saying. Nudge nudge wink wink. But Durotan wasn't going to cheat. He was going to seek out a female, one that was quite well equipped with horns at this time of year. He was going to only use a single weapon, and he was going to rub its blood all over his face cheeks. He had been tracking the herd for 3 days though, and the whole time he couldn't help but envy Orgrim, who had already completed his rite of passage. Orgrim was a sweet, sweet summer child, so his hunt had probably been quite nice, whereas Durotan's birthday was in the autumn, and winter had decided to come ahead of time this year apparently, so the weather had been quite bitter. However, late afternoon on the 3rd day, he'd come across some pellets of poop that were not frozen hard, they were fresh. And now, here he was, standing over a fine specimen. This one would do. Tomorrow, he will return to his people an adult male, ready to take his place in serving the clan. Hadouken! Why do we not ride? Because that is not the way it is done. Mother Kashur seemed particularly irritable today, as she and Durotan made the lengthy hike to the sacred mountain of the ancestors. To be fair, she would have deeply appreciated being able to ride the journey atop her wolf Dreamwalker. She wasn't young and fit anymore, but the traditions were ancient and extremely specific. For as long as you're able to walk, you will walk. But despite the fact that each of these trips were exhausting her more and more, Mother Kashur couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement about this current one. She was bloody curious about what was going to happen, especially since this was probably to be her last trip to the mountain, at least as a living, breathing person anyway. She knew full well that the next time she approached Oshigun, it would likely be as a spirit. What's wrong, Mother? Oh, not a thing. 'Twas the following day by the time they reached the entrance of the sacred cave, and as always, Kashur felt as if she was about to enter the womb of the earth itself. Durotan did his best to look brave, but you could tell he was slightly nervous. But that was a good thing, Mother Kashur thought. He should be nervous. He was about to enter sacred space at the specific request of one of his long-dead ancestors. Didn't happen every day. You know that few are called before the ancestors who do not walk the path of the shaman. I do not know what will happen. Maybe nothing. But you will behave with honour and respect. Durotan swallowed, nodded, and then took a deep breath. And then they entered the cave. Kashur led the way, lighting the torches that lined the walls. But, as they walked down a long gentle slope, there were no more torches to light, and Durotan just kind of looked at Kashur, slightly puzzled. We will not need to bring fire to come before the ancestors. That didn't really answer any of Durotan's questions, so he was still confused, but he followed into the darkness, with Kashur guiding him, right up until she brought him to a stop in the middle of pitch-black nowhere. However, a dim light then began to illuminate the room around them, and a chill filled the air. You have brought him, as I asked. Durotan shuddered but said nothing, eyes still completely focused on Kashur. You cannot see him? No, Mother, I cannot. Is an ancestor present? Indeed one is. I brought him here as requested. How do you find him? I sensed something. I had thought he would be a shaman, but if he cannot see me now, he never will. But although he will not see spirits or summon the elements, he is born to a great destiny. He will be an important asset to the Frostwolf clan, to all his people. He will be a hero. Durotan couldn't hear both sides of the conversation, but he definitely heard Kashur say the word hero. So he inhaled swiftly, but continued to stand up straight and be respectful and stuff. I cannot tell. Teach him well, Kashur, for one thing is certain. From his line will come salvation. See you around, you bitch. And then poof, Talcra was gone, and Kashur stumbled a little bit. Are you alright? I'm fine. These bones are no longer young, and the energy of the spirits is powerful. I wish I could have seen him, but I know I felt him. You did, and that is more than most are honoured with. Mother, can you tell me what he said about me being a hero? Grandfather Taukra said it was uncertain. You have a destiny to fulfill, Durotan, son of Garad. Be not a fool in battle and die before you can fulfill it. Ha! A fool does not serve his clan well, and that is what I wish to do. Then, future chieftain, you'd best be about finding a mate. I'm sorry, what? And we're leaving it there! At the risk of being accused of being a sellout, I should probably try plugging my Patreon page once in a while, shouldn't I? Basically, there's one tier. It's $1 a month. And for that, you get early access to these videos, so patrons are always like a video ahead of everyone else. Plus I ramble on a bit in those posts, so you get to find out I'm a bit of a moron as well. And obviously your name goes in the credits, so that's a thing. Links in the description for said Patreon page, as well as my very quiet Discord, and for the book as well, if you want to buy it. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!